How's it going, everybody? As you can see by the title and the thumbnail, we went to the thrift store and I seen a bunch of tackle boxes and there was no fishing lures and I was bummed out, and I asked, and like eventually I talked to like a worker and they brought the manager over and they're like, oh yeah, we have fishing lures, they're just in the back, we don't have a space for them yet. So I got some goodies here. And if you're not following me on my social media, you can see some of this stuff happen in real time. Because I had a story of like the tackle boxes, and I'm like, maybe we'll find something good. Not in tackle boxes, but in the back of the store. So let's get right into it. I bought 4 different lures, and so we'll go with probably the roughest one, but it's still a really nice lure. And whoever had these lures, they swapped the hooks out on this one. So it's a Bill Lewis rattle trap. It's either that or it's a Cotton Cordell Super Spot. But, so we have this one. And on this side, you can see there's like some of the plastic or whatever got melted. And actually there's a video on YouTube how these rattle traps are made, and it's super cool. So they put the 2 pieces together. You can see that seam there. They put those 2 pieces together and then they're sonic welded together. It's a pretty cool video. You guys should definitely look it up. But so this has like, I'm not a huge fan of this color either, but it has this right here. So once I strip the paint off of this, I think we should be able to like get that sanded down with some real fine sandpaper. And then this is a crankbait that I'm not too familiar with. But I was like, I love square bill crankbaits, and I was like, and they were in good condition, and I was like, why not? There was 3 of these, so I picked up all 3. And this is actually a Bandit 100 series square bill crankbait. And one of the things that drew me is like this ridge that they have right here that like meets up with the bill. But I stripped these, like some of like where that seam is a little high, so I'll sand that down a little bit, get it nice and smooth. Ooh, silky smooth. Also, Fire Tiger, not like the biggest fan of it. It is a good color, but this one's pretty faded, so we'll get it switched up. And then they had 2 of the same color. They had more of these realistic craw colors. So it got the legs, like the segments and everything. And it's like nice color. I'm sure it would work. Just not the biggest fan of like this realistic color. I think like the legs on it look kind of goofy. But again, same crankbaits. And my advice to you, if you are out there and you could only throw one lure, I would throw especially someplace new, I'm going to throw a square bill crankbait right off the bat. But anyway, let's get right into stripping the paint off and painting them. And we can talk more then. Alright, so we got these set out. First thing, let's just take these hooks off. And then we will go about getting these all fixed up. We'll probably swap the hooks out. These fillet rings look fine. They're like they're like a coppery color. So I'll go ahead and take the hooks off of all of these. We have the hooks off, and I'm probably just gonna put these hooks back on, but man, look at that. These are dull. Not even catching on a nail or nothing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sharpen these hooks up. And I showed you guys this in one of my Tackle Tip Tuesdays. Is this little tool that I have that I used to sharpen up my fish hooks. And so what you do is it just has that little groove, and you just put your hook down in there. And I just will run it a few times because I like to, as you can see, it has like little sides and then it has the groove in the middle. I like to take it, put it down in that channel, and then on one side, and then I'll do the other side. So I'll swipe it a couple of times. Oh yeah, we're getting somewhere. And we'll get the other side. And just get that hook filed down, because there is nothing worse than having dull hooks. Oh yeah, getting that nice and sharpened up. And these are like eagle claw hooks from the looks of them. They're fine hooks. They're just like dull out pretty easy, but I'll just sharpen them up and I'll put them back on just so keep the baits original. But so I'm gonna take some paper towels here, and what I'm gonna do to strip these down is I just got some nail polish remover. I think some rubbing alcohol. Used that before, works just fine. This is just a little more aggressive. After you use this though, I recommend, instead of letting that nail polish dry onto your bait, I suggest going and taking your bait and going and washing it off. But we'll see how well this takes it off. I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty fast. Dang, Bandit. You almost got like a... Guess we're gonna get a little more aggressive with it. Get this top coat off, this protective top coat. And then that nail polish remover will probably work a ton better. Oh, I missed a split ring. After I turned off the camera, I had like a way easier time getting the split rings. For some reason, you guys just made me nervous. But like I said, y'all should invest in a pair of I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Y'all should invest in a pair of split ring pliers. I guess if you really wanted to, if we're able to just like take that seam down a bit, I might just go ahead and just like scuff these baits up and put a top coat on. I would have liked to take them down to the blank, but we'll see what happens. That's the thing about having a plan. You can always change your plan to whatever's going to work best for you. Just with spraying right onto the lure though, one thing you run in with that is you have to use more paint to cover up that original paint job. But get a little more back onto this, we'll see how that works. Because I want to get this down to the blank and like rough that blank up a little bit so it holds paint really well, but also get that seam going. Get that sanded down a bit. Just so I think the bait will look a lot nicer. Guess 120 it is then. and we'll take the bulk of this paint off. Then we'll hit it with 320 again, and we're just gonna paint over it. I think that's what's gonna work the best, yeah. I think just a little more aggressive sandpaper too. Oh yeah, that's taking care of that seam, and we're getting a little bit of blank to pop through there. So I'm just gonna go over this with the 120, and then the 320, and then, you know, smooth it out with that 320, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll get after it. These are really cool crankbaits though, these Bandit 100 series. I didn't know much about them, so I went to, I went online and I started reading reviews about them. And actually, yeah, I'm not even gonna hit it with that 320. I don't think it's gonna make a difference, because it's pretty scuffed up enough to accept paint. But I was reading about these. These are just, you know, 100 size square bill crankbait. But these things, like, people really like these. And these are about $8 a piece. And those rattle traps are about $8 a piece too. But like, people really like these. They say they work really well for crappie, perch. I'm sure you could catch trout, bass on them. I bet you could get like a pretty nice bass. You get pike, walleye. Square bills are literally, like, in my opinion, one of the most versatile crankbaits out there. That and probably like a lipless. But like I said, I was just like not a fan of, like, I mean, that one was fading, so it needed to be repainted, but wasn't a fan of these or these craw colors. So it's like, I might as well just go ahead, alter these a little bit. Just get those seams. And the paint on this was a little faded too. I'm just like cleaning up those seams just to, like, it's gonna give a, that's just gonna like make the bait look even nicer. Oh, what the heck? Keep forgetting these line tie ones. Oh, jeez. That was different from all the rest of them. That one was hefty. Dang. And all kinds of different split rings on it. But yeah, let's get that seam nice and filed away. Alright, and then this was an area of concern. If I'm able to, like, I kind of took a risk on this one just because, you know, it's kind of melty right here. But I thought I'd be able to just go ahead and sand this down. If the blank is compromised, if the lure is compromised, you know, I only spent a couple bucks on these. With these thrift store finds. So I am honestly not too worried about it, but it honestly seemed like it would be fine. So we'll figure out here in a few short moments. Because I don't know what happened. Like, sometimes I think that, like, soft plastics can, like if they're like right next to each other and you just like leave this out in your car and it gets hot and the soft plastics like melt. Maybe that's what happened. I know you can't be quite sure. That's kind of the risk you take with like some thrift store lure finds. But I just want to get this like nice and sanded down just so we can like the paint lays on nice. And so far so good. And I don't want to change the body shape too much with sanding and alter the action too much. But yeah, probably lipless and square bills, like I said. Some of the most versatile crankbaits that you can have. You're always going to see those in my tackle bag. Do I throw them all the time? No, it's not necessarily my favorite things to throw, but you can't argue with their effectiveness. A little wet paper towel here. Just gonna wipe that off, kind of see what it's looking like. It's a lot better. There are some divots, and I could like go over those with some super glue and baking soda, but they're so minor, I don't think it's gonna make a difference. That is fantastic. I think these are going to paint up really nice. I'm going to finish sanding these a bit more and we'll come back when they're all prepped and ready to go. So I got these sanded down quite a bit and I'm content, I'm happy with how they turned out. One issue that we ran into is with this rattle trap near the end here. There's a hole. Right at the end. Right at the end. You can see there's like a little pinhole there. So, we're just gonna fix that right now. So I got my super glue. I'm gonna take a little super glue, put it on the end of this hole here. Just like so. Take a little baking soda. Put that right on there. Get a nice little thing of baking soda. Too much baking soda? Get a little baking soda on this tail end. Super glue on that, a little super glue and baking soda. That super glue, get that extra wiped off. Alright, and there we have it. We got the end all closed up. A little bit of baking soda at the end. I'm going to take some sandpaper and just smooth that out a little bit here. And I'm not sure what that was from, how that got like this little hole. It almost looked like it was drilled in. But we got that hole all closed up, a little super glue and baking soda. But I wanted to show you this 100 size square bill crankbaits. And then this is a 2.5 blank. So let me show you. So we got this 2.5 blank, and then we have this 100 size. So a good deal, a fair deal, like smaller. So I just wanted to show that a little bit. Alright, well, I guess we will get into painting. Alright, so we're just gonna start with, let's lay down a coat of white. I don't have too much paint left, I ordered more. Oh. We'll probably lay down a couple coats of white here. I put quite a bit in the gun, I put a lot in. Oopsies. It's kind of clogged, and it just kind of all came out. Oh, jeez. And then we are gonna air dry it. Set that on aside. I'm gonna like tilt you guys up just a hair. Just a little more open view. Alright. Move on to the next one in no particular order. I should have brought these down more. There's a lot of space right there. I should have brought the bars down more, but I think it still looks pretty cool. well, that's gonna do it for the video, y'all. We took and we repainted these thrift store lures. I like these colors a lot better. I was getting a little frustrated just because it's taken quite a bit of time to rework these, and I was having issues with some paint. When don't I, it seems like. But anyways, thank you all for watching the video, and I hope you stay tuned for the next one.